You know, we see it on the news all the time, right? These huge protests, so much passion. But have you ever stopped to think about who isn't there? The people who feel just as strongly, but for whatever reason just can't make it? Well, today, we're going to dive into how technology is trying to give a voice to those very people.
And it's so true. I mean, it feels like the whole world is protesting right now. You look at Iran, the US, England, it's happening everywhere. People are on the streets making their voices heard. And that's incredibly powerful, no doubt. But again, who are we not seeing in those crowds?
And that brings us to what we're calling this sideline struggle. Because for every single person you see holding a sign on TV, there are probably hundreds, maybe thousands more who feel exactly the same way but are stuck. They're caught between what they believe and what they have to do every single day.
Yeah, this quote just hits the nail on the head. We're talking about millions of people. Think about it. The dad working a second job just to make ends meet, the mom who's home with a sick kid, the caregiver looking after an elderly parent, or even someone in an assisted living facility who has so much to say but just physically can't be there. Their fire, their conviction, it's just as real, but their obligations, they're non-negotiable.
So what happens then? Does their voice just vanish? Does all that passion and concern just get lost in the shuffle of a crazy busy life?
And that fire in their belly, that's a perfect way to put it. It's that gut-wrenching feeling of watching something happen that you deeply disagree with and feeling like your hands are tied. You want to be out there, you want to be part of it, but you're stuck on a conference call, you're making mac and cheese for the kids, or you're just completely wiped out after a long, hard shift. You feel powerless. So what's the solution? How do you bridge that massive gap between feeling so strongly about something and actually being able to do something about it? Well, that brings us to this idea of a digital picket sign. We're going to take a look at a really interesting tool called Protest Poster, and it's built specifically for this unheard majority. Think about that for a second. Your smartphone becomes your picket sign. That little device you carry around everywhere suddenly becomes your megaphone. It's right there, it's easy to use, and you can use it from your couch, your lunch break, absolutely anywhere.
And this is what it looks like. Protest Poster is all about giving a sharp, professional voice to people standing up for what they believe in. Basically, it uses AI to understand what a protest is all about, and then boom, it creates a whole social media strategy for you. So we're not just talking about random angry posts, this is about smart, strategic communication that actually gets noticed.
Okay, so that sounds cool, but how does it actually work? How does it take that feeling, that fire in your belly, and turn it into something people will actually see and hear online? Let's break it down. All right, so getting set up is meant to be super straightforward. It's basically 3 steps. First, you plug in your Gemini API key. Don't worry, it's just like a password that lets the app use the AI. Step 2, you put in your social media accounts. And then you're ready to create your protest. The whole point is that you don't need to be some tech whiz to use it. So let's look a little closer. Here's where you connect your accounts. You pop in that AI key, and what's cool is that it's your key, so you're in control. Then you add your handles for TikTok, Instagram, whatever you use. This is what lays the groundwork, right? It connects the brain of the AI directly to your own social media voice. Okay, next up, you get to define your cause. This is where you tell the app what you're all about. You give your protest a name, you lay out exactly where you stand, and you can add any details you want. And I think this is really smart. You can just flip a switch to choose which platforms you want to focus on. So you're tailoring your whole campaign right from the get-go.
And this is where the magic really happens. As soon as you've laid all that out, the AI just takes over. It takes your big ideas and turns them into these powerful posts, and it even customizes them for each platform. For that busy parent or that overworked professional, think about the time and energy this saves. It's huge.
So the tech is obviously pretty cool. But let's be honest, the real story here isn't about the tech, it's about the people it helps. Why does something like this even matter? I love this phrase because it says it all. It transforms passive concern into an active digital presence. It takes that feeling, you know, the one where you're just sitting on your couch, watching the news, feeling helpless and worried. It turns that into actual, tangible action. Suddenly, you have a seat at the table. Your voice becomes part of the conversation, even if your feet can't be on the pavement.
And really, that's the whole point, isn't it? This is for the people who are busy keeping the world running. The ones who don't have the luxury of free time because they're working, caring, and providing. This kind of tech is about leveling the playing field. It's about saying that just because you're a vital, productive part of society doesn't mean you should have to give up your voice. So when you step back and look at all this, you have to wonder,
Are we looking at a whole new era of protest? This could be a really fundamental shift in what it even means to be an engaged citizen.
And that's really the promise here, isn't it? Technology is working to make sure that your beliefs are never silenced. It doesn't matter if you're held back by your job, by where you live, or by your physical health. The idea is that if you believe in something, if you have that conviction, nothing should stop you from making your voice heard.
Which leaves us with a pretty big question. Is this what the future of protests looks like? As our lives get more and more digital, is the picket line going to be replaced by the social media post? And maybe, just maybe, is this how the so-called silent majority finally gets to speak?